Oh man, guys, new news coming out from about AMD Intel merger. It's going to be super dope. I wanted to bring this to you right before I got on the road to head out. So like this is in the morning, just had breakfast, all that good stuff, heading further into Tennessee today. Guys, this is just absolutely amazing. So this is AMD RTG, also known as Radeon Technology Group, Project Canis Flagship leaked, an Intel and AMD desktop GPU joint venture. Yes, we are getting an Intel and AMD GPU. We're finally getting a desktop GPU with their forces combined. This is like probably what Intel was working on when they were talking about like desktop GPUs. This is not the Intel CPU with the AMD Vega graphics. Like this is something completely different. This is the Radeon RX Canis, which is named after the second largest star in the known universe. If you haven't been paying attention, AMD likes to name their architectures after stars. Intel does it after lakes, and so like we have Polaris, we have Vega. Those are our two North Stars. For those of you who are going to correct me, Polaris is our current North Star. Vega is our other North Star that when our Earth wobbles, it becomes a North Star every once in a while. Anyways, not the point. The point is, the joint venture aims to unify Intel's outstanding fabrication facilities and Radeon Technology Group's graphics ambitions. In simpler words, RTG will be designing the GPU and Intel will be fabricating it. Yes, let's go. This is amazing. This is fantastic. So Radeon's new flagship RX Canis is to be manufactured by Intel Foundries, will be supporting up to 10,240 stream processors and 4 terabytes per second of HBM4. My goodness gracious. So the Vega 64 right now, I think it has like something like 4,960, somewhere in that region. So this is basically double the amount of stream processors that the current RX Vega lineup has. So there's a teaser trailer. So the graphics card will be manufactured on the Intel 10 nanometer plus process and will consist of 2 dies of 400 millimeters squared each. Okay, so for comparison, the Tesla V100, which is known to be the largest GPU ever made as far as physical space, or one of them, has an 850 millimeter squared die size. So this has 2 400 millimeter squared die size, which means that it's basically the same size as a Tesla V100 connected by the brand new TSV-based interconnect, which apparently is going to be something similar to Infinity Fabric, except for it's also going to use Intel's technology with that. So each die will host 80 control units and 64 stream processors for a grand total of 10,240 stream processors. This is absolutely insane. So there's going to be 2 dies. This is basically going to be a 295x2 situation, except for it's not going to use Crossfire. Now it's going to be using TSV, which is going to be something like Infinity Fabric, except for it's going to work well for both of this. So the TDP numbers, absolutely crazy. 350 watts, but I mean, that's basically to be expected, one from an AMD GPU. But then like if you put 2 RX Vega 5064s together, you're going to be pulling over 400 watts. So 350 watts for basically over double Vega 64 stream processor count is actually not terrible. So as the stated rate, so this is where we're getting into some insane numbers, everybody. The stated rate of 2,441 megahertz for the freaking graphics process. That is bananas. Like the best GTX series cards on liquid nitrogen can like, that's what you expect to hit when you have the cards under LN2. 2,100 gigahertz is what you're getting on Pascal. This is absolutely phenomenal. And then it says that the RX Canis will be able to boost to 50 teraflops of compute performance, single precision. That is absolutely mind-boggling. So the Titan V has 110 teraflops of tensor performance. It doesn't have this on CUDA performance. So this is going to be in like actual usable performance outside of tensor cores, which is absolutely, like, this is mind-boggling. So what they say is this truly represents a generational leap in performance as far as graphics cards goes. It's absolutely true. So let's look down this spec sheet right here. 10 nanometer plus on the Intel fabrication, which is phenomenal. Architecture is Canis 10. We have 10,240 stream processors, a core clock, stock clock of 1,800 megahertz. That is phenomenal. The stock clock on a Pascal card is in the 1,600 range, so this is absolutely blowing that away with 2,441 megahertz boost. bananas, banana hammocks, giant banana swings is what this is. Then we have 32 gigabytes of HBM4 memory, 4 terabytes per second of memory bandwidth, 50 teraflops per second of peak performance. It's going to be DX12, 350 watt TDP, 3 8-pin connectors. Expected MSRP right here, $999, coming in the second half of this year. I mean, let's all just be honest. This is going to be delayed. AMD is no, they're not going to get this out this year. No chance that that's going to happen. But the card will be rocking HBM4, which is a newer and cheaper variant of HBM3. And if you guys haven't heard, this is exactly the same scenario that's going on with the PCI Express standard. So PCI Express 4, which isn't officially on any board, is something that we as consumers aren't going to get. They're going to skip over PCI Express 4, and we're going to get PCI Express 5. And that's the same thing that's happening here with the HBM3 memory. It's something that they developed for test reasons, and so it's not going to come to consumers. It's been on the the Vega refresh test chips that we're never going to see. So AMD has been testing RX Vega 7 nanometer chips with HBM3, and it's just been for engineering purposes, for development purposes, to test the fabrication processes. But now that they have Intel on their side, they're going to be able to do away with the fabrication uncertainties, and then they'll actually be able to use the much more usable, cheaper, and faster HBM4, and it's going to have 4 terabytes per second of total memory bandwidth, which is just, there's nothing else on the market that can even touch this. This is like 4 terabytes per second is like you could transfer the entirety of Steam libraries on the memory bus instantly. Like this is nothing. This is absolutely fantastic. But then, as if that's not enough good news, so they say, of course, this higher performance is going to mean an absolutely insane value proposition, not just for gamers, but also for miners as well, because you can imagine super fast HBM4, super amazing like GPU core. This is a miner's just like this is their paradise, the cards that are going to be released. So thankfully, both Intel and AMD are committed to dedicate a significant portion of supply to gamers only. This will be achieved by validating gamers through their Steam accounts. There will be a standard 1 card per user policy, which will have to be further validated by linking your Steam account, which must have at least $100 worth of games and at least 100 hours worth of gameplay. Obviously, there's going to be a ways around that for miners. Like they're going to be able to get Steam accounts and you just let a game run for 100 hours. What's that? That's basically like 4 days and some change. You just leave a Steam account running for 4 days and some change. You spend $100 and then you get the best freaking graphics card known to man. Obviously, limit 1's going to be the issue. We have to see if Intel and AMD will hold to their side and they're not going to sell this directly to the miners and not just, let it all go just like other companies like they've been doing in the past. Anyways. And then pricing, $999, which that sounds like a lot for a graphics card. Obviously, we've been noticing the price increase, but you look at the 1080 Ti. What's the 1080 Ti's teraflop performance? So the 1080 Ti is $700 MSRP. So this is $200 more than that. And it has a teraflop performance of around 11 to 12 teraflops. This is 4 times that, and you're only paying $200 more. Not to mention, this addresses the issue of GPP because we finally have Intel and AMD working together to take on the juggernaut that is NVIDIA, and hopefully they can build a better gaming brand off of this. Like, this is just absolutely fantastic. I am so excited for AMD here. This is something that is absolutely phenomenal. I'm super hyped on this. Second half of this year, obviously, that's not going to happen. This is they're quoting second half 2018, but there's no chance. This is the first we're hearing about it, but so I completely doubt whether or not this is going to take place this year. I would expect that this is probably going to launch at Computex in 2019, but even still, compared to what we know that we're supposed to be getting from NVIDIA in the likes of Ampere and Turing, this is gonna blow that out of the water. Like this is better than the Titan V. Like we have the Titan V, and this is absolutely knocking it out of the park. Absolutely phenomenal. So then just closing off the article, press has already been briefed and under NDA, reportedly told to deny the project exists if asked, which would make sense because this is totally phenomenal. We've been told that the top secret GPU has already taped out and will enter volume production by next month. The Intel AMD joint venture expects to hit shelves by holiday season yeah, that's not happening. The joint venture, folks, is apparently the real reason Raja Koduri joined Intel to usher in a new era of graphics technology. That makes so much sense. That's why he bowed out after Vegas, so that they could work on this, because obviously he would have to be working at Intel to kind of learn their fabrication technology so that they can design the GPU architecture to be produced on the Intel fabs. And so let's just get back to this. This is probably one of the reasons why you'll not see anyone talking about it. And if you ask these certain someones, you will get a response along the likes of, it's clearly fake, because it absolutely is. April Fool's Day. Yeah, that's right. You got two in a day. Of course, both videos couldn't be completely serious. I love you guys. Love you guys. April Fools. It's a real article on WCCF Tech, by the way. This, like, I didn't make up the article this time. This is by WCCF Tech, but they totally made this up. Cheers.